What do you mean happiness? What exactly do you mean by happiness? If you translate a particular sensation as happiness, you call it happiness, a particular sensation that is there. You separate yourself and use that knowledge about the happiness that is put in there and translate that and tell yourself that you are happy. The moment it is a sensation. You understand? All sensations are very short-lived. They can't last forever. So the moment you separate yourself from a particular sensation and tell yourself that you are happy, the demand to keep that going longer than its duration of life is inevitable. So what all you are doing to stretch that and keep that going on and on has turned that into the opposite unhappiness. You are stuck with unhappiness. Same is the case with the pleasure. If you say that it is a pleasure, you want to be in that state of pleasure all the time. It is just not possible. So, you are turning pleasure into pain. We are not ready to accept it. And all those religious jokers tell us, we have some ways, we teach you the techniques of meditation, yoga, this, that and the other, and you will be in permanent bliss. The demand for permanence in every area of our existence is the cause of human misery. There is no such thing as permanence at all. The permanence, that is what we are all interested in, you see. Then the future we are talking about. I ask people, first tell me something about the present. This is the present moment. You are living in the so-called present. Tell me something about present. Anything you tell me about the present is the past that is telling me that this is the present. So, there must be a present before you demand future. The future you are interested in is what you didn't have in the past. I don't have good health, I want to be healthy. I don't have money, I want more money. I am in poor health, I want to be very healthy. What I don't have now, I want in the future. But the instrument which I am going to use to create the future I am interested in is the same interest that created the past. So the future is not going to be any different from the past, but most probably a modified continuity of the past. So there must be a present. The present does not exist at all. If the present is not there, there can't be any future. You can't jump over from the past into the future. You have to go through the present. What tells you that this is the present and describing the present is the past. So for all practical purposes, there is no such thing as future. You are wanting to create a future different from the past is the one that is responsible for your problems. You see? So there is no such thing as future at all. Only a modified continuity of the past. This goes on all through our life, go on and on and on. So that misery has got to come to an end before what you call death takes place.
Because we have achieved tremendous things in the field of science, we have put man on the moon, we are going to put man on every planet. That does not mean that what all we have discovered in the laws of nature has not in any way benefited the whole of mankind. It benefits only a negligible percentage of the people. And so what I want to emphasize is tell the people that it is possible for us to live happily on this planet which nature has created for us. But the problem here is that we have been made to believe that the human species is created for some grander purpose other than all the other species on this planet. That's the first error that the culture has done. And the second thing is that the whole thing is created for the benefit of mankind. So we think that we have a right to enjoy whatever is there in nature for ourselves and deny the basic things for everybody. So there is tremendous amount of things available for everybody on this planet. They say that whatever nature has can feed 12 billion people without the help of modern technology. We have only 5 billion people on this planet. Why there is misery? Why there is starvation? We have to ask these basic questions and we have to get answers. Otherwise, we are heading towards disaster. We are not ready to question the answers. We are not ready to question the solutions that are offered to us to solve the problems. There are actually no problems at all. The problem is that the solutions that have been offered to us are not really the solutions. If they were the solutions, there wouldn't be any problems there at all. So something is wrong somewhere. So it is only on individual level that an individual can begin to look at these things, the absurdity of what we have made of our lives and the world around us, and ask these questions and get answers for ourselves.
When I go on radio program like this or on television, they ask me the question, who are you? Why the hell you are you? You have nothing to offer to the individuals or the world at large. My interest is to put across something which has happened to me, something extraordinary. And I know well that this is something which cannot be shared with others but something hit me. Because all my life I wanted to discover the self, find out the self, and the demand to bring about a change in me obsessed me. All my formative years and later on this question haunted me. You see, you know the meaning of the word self, you see, spirit, you know. It's a Latin word. I don't want to deal with the etymological meaning of the word spirit. There is nothing there other than this physical organism functioning with an extraordinary intelligence of its own. So if anybody who is interested in finding out if there is any spirit, if there is any soul, if there is a mind, if there is a psyche, it doesn't matter what name you use, or if there is an identity there, if there is an I there, how do we go about? The only way to go about is you have to free yourself from everything everybody has said before about this. What you see there is created by you. So the demand to fit ourselves into a value system created by our culture is the one that is sapping out a tremendous amount of energy. And so we are not able to deal with the living problems. So the demand to fit ourselves into the value system is the cause of man's tragedy. And there is no point in replacing one value system with another value system. That is what you call revolution. That is what you call by fancy names. But revolution, to put it in my own favorite way, is to replace one value system with another value system.
Human nature is exactly the same. Everybody wants one thing, that is to be happy without one moment of unhappiness, to have pleasure without pain. It is just impossible to achieve that goal. Unfortunately, the religious teachers from time immemorial have brainwashed us to believe that they have a teaching which will help us to make that possible. They have not succeeded, and we have fallen for that kind of a thing, and we live in hope and die in hope because we still believe that it would be possible for us to have one without the other. I say why it is not possible is because this living organism is involved in that demand to have permanent happiness. See, all sensations are short-lived. Happiness also is one sensation. Pleasure is one sensation. But this living organism is interested in one basic thing, to maintain its sensitivity of sensory activity and the nervous system. And then alone it can survive and face the rigors of living in these adverse circumstances. We have added one more problem to this living organism, that it is fighting all the time the demand to make that a permanent thing, to be happy forever. It is not possible. Quest for permanent happiness is consuming tremendous amounts of energy. So we are not left with any energy to face these problems of our living. What is it that we can't do in this world? The idea that we should create a heaven on this planet is the one that has turned this extraordinarily paradise created by nature into a hellish thing.
I maintain that the body does not want to know anything. It does not want to learn anything. So whatever you are interested in is not in helping this living organism, but trying to resolve the problems created by that mechanism that is put in there by our culture or society. The problem is to be free from the fantasy that through that you will be able to resolve this problem. All this effort on the part of us to free ourselves from the fantasy of transformation or radical transformation or something like enlightenment and all that kind of nonsense that is passed on to us from generation to generation is a monumental waste of energy. And so there is not a thing that you can do about it. See, any word I use is born out of this duality. I don't mean the duality in the sense that the Atman and Brahman, God and the soul and all that kind of a thing. The language is a divisive movement in this living organism. It is a unitary movement. It cannot separate itself from anything that is happening out there or inside here or in here. And to divide the thing and say out there and in here is also a divisive movement there. Divisive movement is not part of this living organism. It is not interested in peace at all. It is a very peaceful living organism. And so the idea that you have a peaceful state of mind or a peaceful entity is the one that is disturbing the peace that is already there. So all that you are doing to create a peaceful mind or a peaceful way of living is rejected by this living organism because that is not part of this living organism. All our actions are born out of thinking, and that thinking is to use these thoughts to free yourself from something, you see. So to free yourself from something will never help you to free yourself from that, because it is that movement that is disturbing the whole thing, you know. And all that you are doing to free yourself from is the one that is keeping you where you are. Any movement on your part to free yourself from something that does not exist there. I can say that there is nothing there to be free from. So it hit me like a lightning. That's the only word that I can use. That
There is nothing there to be free from. It doesn't matter what you want to be free from. There is nothing there to be free from. So wanting to be free from this, wanting to be free from that, you have 100 different things you want to be free from. So when something hits you, that there is nothing there to be free from, it will hit you so hard that you will know what is happening there. You will never know what you are left with.
So the situation you think is hopeless, but it is not hopeless. The hope is here. See, the hope is not there. You are waiting for something to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow nothing will happen. Whatever has to happen, that has got to happen, you see, now. And the possibility of that happening now is practically and well nigh impossible, because the instrument which you are using is the past. So unless the past comes to an end, there can't be any present. The now, the present moment. And that present moment is something which cannot be captured by you, cannot be experienced by you see. So even assuming for a moment that the past has come to an end, you have no way of knowing that it has come to an end. You see, so then there is no future for you at all. There may be a future tomorrow, you will become boss of your company in which you are working, I don't know. The school teacher becomes the head of the institution, and professor becomes the dean. You see, that possibility is there, but you have to put in a lot of struggle, that takes time. So you are applying the same technique, you see. That is the only thing, that instrument which you are using to realize whatever you are interested in, and so it puts it there in the future. So it has produced tremendous results in this world. So how can that instrument be not the instrument to achieve your spiritual goals, if there are any spiritual goals you have before them? So that is not the instrument, obviously, because you have tried this, you have done everything possible. Even those who are burning with hunger, they find it, you see, it's impossible, In India, everybody, you see, tried this, you won't believe that, you see, not one was lucky enough. So whenever such a thing happened, it happened to those people who had given up completely and totally all their search. That's an absolute requisite for that kind of a thing. The whole movement has to slow down, you see, and come to a stop. But anything you do to make it stop is only adding momentum to it. That's really the crux of the problem. So what you are interested in doesn't exist. It's your own imagination based upon the knowledge you have about those things.